Let's make a box top and a box bottom without using tape or glue. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day, and when we're finished, we will have a complete gift set. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. And thank you for all of the love, kindness, and support that you show to me each and every day. Today, we're going to take some really beautiful paper, and we're going to use that paper to create a box top and a box bottom, but we're not going to use any adhesive to put those two items together. And like I said, when we're finished, we're going to have a complete set. So y'all, what am I talking about? I am talking about this. Isn't this beautiful? Just the look of it is beautiful. So I'm going to flip to my overhead camera to give you a closer look at what this is. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, so here's a closer look at what we're going to be making today. And we'll be making this without using glue or tape. It is a beautiful box set that will hold A2 size cards. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded. Not only are we going to make a box for this, but I'm going to demo the card as well as the envelope so that if you want, you'll be able to make a complete set after you've watched this video. Now, for those of you who are doing spring craft fairs, again, things like this is what the eye is drawn to, because I'm sure when you saw these colors, they were more than pleasing to the eyes of most of you. So I am going to go ahead and get started on this because I know you're excited to know how to make a box without glue or tape. So here is what we're going to be working with today. I'll be using more of that same beautiful paper. It is a part of a new collection that I now have available on my website. You don't need this paper to make your own project. You can use whatever beautiful papers you have in your stash. But for those of you who like the finished look of some of the papers that I use, I do have these available on my website, part of a collection. So head on out to my website and look at the photo gallery so that you can see all of the papers in the collection. So what I have here are pieces for the box top and the box bottom. We'll go over those in just a minute. So I'm going to set these to the side because we're going to go ahead and make a card as well as the envelope. And to do that, I am going to be using 2 pieces of 8 1/2 by 11. Now on one of the 8 1/2 by 11s, I'm going to score at 4 1/4 on the 8 1/2 inch side. Then I'm going to turn it to the 11 inch side, and we're going to go ahead and cut at 5 1/2. So now I have the basis for 2 of my cards. So from one sheet, you're able to make 2 cards. Then for the inside of my card, I have some scrap paper. This is 4 by 12. I'm going to cut a piece at 4 by 5. So I am just going to take this, tape it. Most of you know how to do this already, but for some of you who might be new, I am showing how I make a card as well as an envelope. And y'all know that I take the super simple, easy way out whenever I'm making a card as well as an envelope. So I'm going to take this, we're going to put that right there, and that gives us some writing space on the inside of this card. We will add something else to the card in just a minute, but I wanted to show you how easy it was to make that card. Now let me show you how easy it is to make the envelope. So we're going to take that 8 1/2 by 11 and let's cut it down to 7 3/4 by 11. Now, some of you just saw me use tape, and that is correct. I said I was making a box top and a box bottom without the need for tape or glue. To make our cards and our envelope, I am using tape and glue for that. So I wanted to clarify that because I will undoubtedly get comments saying you promised us a no glue, no tape project, and I just saw you use glue and tape. So on the 7 3/4 inch side, go ahead and score at 1. Rotate it to the opposite 7 3/4 inch side and score at 1. Turn it to the 11 inch side, score at 4 1/4 and at 8 5/8. Now I'm just going to fold and burnish all of my scores, and I do want the polka dots to be on the outside this time, but by using double-sided paper, you can see that we have a beautifully lined envelope. So now I'm going to take my finger blade and we're going to free the center panel here. And the way that we do that, we go to the score mark, the intersecting score mark. We cut in at an angle, and we've now freed this piece. So now we go back to that same intersecting score mark and cut in at an angle as we're cutting down. Do the same thing here. Cut in at an angle, cut down. Cut in at an angle, remove that piece. Cut in at an angle. Cut in at an angle as you're cutting down. Cut in at an angle as you're cutting down. And so there is the form for my envelope. I am going to go ahead and just round my ends because I like the rounded look. If you don't like the rounded look, just leave it as is. If you don't have a corner rounder, you can see that you can get this done using scissors. So now let's take the center flaps here and fold them in. I'm going to add just a little bit of tape here and a little bit of tape here. And the widest part is the part that we fold up. So I'm going to add just a little bit of tape along the edge and a little bit of tape right there. Fold up. And now we have an envelope. This envelope is mailable within the USPS. Just make sure you check with your local postal service if you have any questions about additional postage or whether or not this can be mailed in your area if you're outside of the US. So now we can take our card, and you can see that our card fits in our envelope and we're able to close it. So I'm going to take this and set it to the side. We're going to do something with that in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and bring in the pieces for the box. So I already have a piece that is cut at 8 by 9 1/4, and now I need to cut my lid to 8 1/8 by 9 3/8. So I'm cutting that lid to 8 1/8 by 9 3/8. And y'all, I'm using a heavyweight cardstock for this. If you're interested in the cardstock that I'm using, please make sure that you are checking my description box. I do have the printer type that I use to print my 12 by 12s, as well as the paper that I'm using. You'll find them in the top half of the description box. So I am cutting out this piece at 9 3/8. So we have our piece that is 8 1/8 by 9 3/8. For both pieces, I'm going to take my stylus and we're going to score at 1 1/2 on all 4 sides. So that's 1 1/2 on all 4 sides. So 1 1/2 on all 4 sides. All right, so now we're just going to fold and burnish all of our scores on both pieces. So let's fold and burnish the scores on both pieces. All right, so now that we have our scores folded and burnished, we're going to go ahead and cut out our tabs. So we'll have these corner pieces here, and we're just going to go up, and I'll cut straight down this way, and I'll cut straight down this way. I'll angle in, and I'll angle in. So you can see that this is the long side of my box, and I did it that way. But on my lid, I want to do it a little bit differently. So the long side is going this way, but this time I have the longer side going this way, and it'll all make sense in a minute. So on one piece, whether it's the top or the bottom, make sure the long side is going this way when facing you, and make sure the long side is going this way when facing you on the other piece, because now we're just going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut straight down and angle in. Cut straight down and angle in. So now we have the short side with the pieces facing me. Here we have the long side with the pieces facing me. We're going to turn both of these around and do what we just did. So just cut and angle. Cut and angle. Cut and angle. Cut and angle. So now we have our pieces like this, and you can see when I have these laid out that the long side is here, the long side is here. But when we join them together, top and bottom, we'll be joining them together like this. So now you can see the difference. I have my flaps going this way, and now they're going this way, and that's very important because of how we're going to put this box together. Some of you who've been with me for a while, you've seen this process. We're going to be putting this box together using mini brads. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'm just going to take my end and fold it just as I would if I was putting adhesive on this. Then I'm going to take my piercer, pierce one hole, take that mini brad, put it in, and open it like that. Same thing all the way around. Just take my piercer, pierce a hole, put in a mini brad, and open. Same thing here. You know, this really is an easy way to make a no adhesive box, and it holds up very well and it looks good. So I am going to take my last piece on the bottom, here's my hole, put my mini brad in, and open. So now I have my mini brads, and you can see that they're on the long side of the box. This is the shorter side. Now they're here. Before I add brads to this part, I'm going to go ahead and use my punch and notch out finger tabs. So you'll be able to very easily remove the top of your box. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the corner, join it, take our little piercer, pierce a hole, put it in, and open. And we just go around the box doing this. And y'all, this is so beautiful. I love how it turned out. And those of you who said that you're making things as gifts, I think something like this will always be appreciated. So let's go ahead and finish putting in our brads. Last one. All right, so now we have our brads in on the top and our brads in on the bottom. And you can see how we have them positioned, one going the long way and one on the shorter end. And there's a reason for that, because it simply makes it easier to take that top, put it on like that, without having the two brads butt heads. And what I mean by butt heads, it'll work if you have the brads placed in the same direction. But I did that with this one. So I put the brads almost identical to one another. The lid will go on, but it takes a little bit of work to get it on. So that's why I decided to reposition how I put the brads on, But just know, if you place your brads on in the way that I did on this box with them all in the same direction, you still have a functioning box. Your project is not ruined at all. So now you can see we have the little finger notch on the side. We can open this. We can take that envelope, put it on the inside. We can take our card and put it on the inside. I am going to show you a very easy way to add a little bit of something to the top of this card, as well as the top of the box. So what I have here are these inspirational phrases. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember when, but I do remember that it was back when the Paper Studio used to be 50% off. Now it's mainly 40% off. But you get so many fun and inspirational stickers in here. So this is what I am going to go to find something to put on the outside of the box as well as the card. I think I'm going to take this one here, and I like it. And what it says is, there is no key to happiness. The door is always open. So I like that these are translucent, because now I can put it down like this and you'll be able to see my little message on there. Looks like I wrote on it, but I didn't. But y'all, that is so cute. Then I'm going to find one that I just want to put on the card. And I'm going to take this one that says, "The dream is now a reality." Put it down right there. Very easy to see that. Y'all, these look so upscale. They look like something that you would actually find in a store, and we would purchase just one card with an envelope to give to someone. Now we have this really beautiful set that we were able to make using some beautiful paper and a few mini brads. I'm going to bring this one back in so that you can see all of this loveliness. And if you're interested in this paper, like I said, make sure you head out to my website, because I do have it available on the site. And make sure you check out the photo gallery so that you can see the wonderful prints that you actually get in the collection. You'll be able to make it in a variety of black and white and other colors as well. So this is a really fun collection, but look at how well and how beautifully this presents. So grab some of your own papers that you have in your stash and make this wonderful project. Make your box without using adhesive. But if you don't have any mini brads and you want to use taper glue, you can just put the taper glue down in place of where I put the mini brads. So this is definitely one of those projects, whether beginner level or advanced. You will enjoy doing this. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, all day, every day, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. This statement I'm about to make is not me being cocky, it's me being confident, because I am confident that on this channel, we innovate. We don't replicate. We're not looking at what others are doing. So if you're looking for economical, stylish, wonderful, innovative ideas, come to this channel, because this is where it's happening. I would love to have you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload a new video. As always, my beautiful, crafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.